Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hey, yeah, that's us. And it is time. Because I guess we started doing the show live every day all of a sudden now.
Yeah, today's the first day.
Okay.
Inaugural show.
Wow, it could have given us a little more notice.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're just here. We got to be here.
Throw you into it and just say, oh, by the way, you got a show to do.
Was there a memo?
I didn't see it.
Yes. I left it on Gus's table.
Okay. Great to have you with us. We've got, as usual, just a ton of stuff.
Too much.
To get into. And we will begin doing that right now because yesterday President Trump visited Capitol Hill. You got the big, beautiful bill. It's big. It's beautiful. And so we'll play some of what he had to say about that. But first, here's Speaker Mike Johnson.
We're repealing and rolling back over $500 billion in funding for the radical Green New Deal policies from Biden's so-called Inflation Reduction Act. We call it the Inflation Act. We're ending Biden's war on American energy. We're banning Medicaid dollars from going to transgender surgeries for minors. We're canceling Biden's student loan repayment program.
Pause it for
We're
a second.
increasing university.
So what they're going to translate that as is, they're cutting Medicaid, we told you. They're cutting Medicare and Medicaid, told you. Yeah, to illegals. Okay, if you're a citizen, they're not doing that.
I heard cutting.
Yeah, that's what the left will hear, and that's what they will tell everybody, and they will harp on that and try to defeat this bill.
And I just heard cutting $500 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act, the Green New Deal. Mm-hmm. That cost $891 billion. So why aren't we cutting $891 billion? Just a question.
There is no answer to any of that.
So we're keeping some of the Green New Deal. Awesome. Cool. Like a third of it sounds like, at least.
Yeah.
All right,
Can't
let it
get
go.
rid of it all.
Sorry, my bad.
University endowment tax for these big woke institutions. We're revoking tax exempt status for nonprofits that materially support terrorism. We're doubling the jail time for leaks of confidential taxpayer information. We're eliminating big businesses' ability to engage in woke PR campaigns to facilitate refundability for green energy projects. We're incentivizing federal workforce to be at-will employees, and we're repealing Biden's disastrous EV mandate.
I like that. There's a lot of good there. Is it all good? No, probably not, but you're never going to get a perfect bill.
You are going to get a beautiful bill, though.
A big one and a beautiful one, yes. Maybe the most beautiful bill there's ever been. And Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer also spoke about the bill.
10 years from now, because clean energy is the future. It's cheaper and better. Mm-hmm. It's going to hurt our country, our families, our children in so many ways. This ideological obsession that the hard right, led by the oil, gas, and coal industry, have against clean energy is going to be very harmful. It's going to be one of the worst. There are many, but one of the worst things that this administration is doing.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it's the hard right. They're the kooks.
They want power. They want your lights to come on.
Yeah. They want it to work. Actually, physically work. When you flip a switch, they want a light to come on somewhere.
Those bastards.
It doesn't work anywhere near as well as what we already have. And B, this is their religion. The right is obsessed with it? No. The left worships Gaia. They literally worship the earth. It's incredible. It's incredible. They have no confidence that the earth was created to take care of a lot of the problems that happen. And we've seen that over and over and over and over. I'll never forget that oil spill that happened in the Gulf.
Yeah.
And it was, going to be this
devastating.
It was going to be catastrophic, Jeffy.
Oh,
Catastrophic. It could have ended life, all sea life.
As
forever,
we know it.
As we know it, or didn't even know it. It just ends it all. And so they go out to look for it and see and show how much it's gone. It's gone.
So the Earth did
what the Earth does. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. Weird, isn't it?
It is.
Kind of like when the Earth kept absorbing energy from the sun.
If it didn't, though.
No, if that was all released into the air, well, we'd be dead.
Well, yeah.
Because it'd be 200 degrees hotter.
I believe someone is quoted as saying it'd be catastrophic.
Catastrophic. That's exactly what it would be.
Carbon emissions also trap heat.
Check this out.
Today's report shows oceans have absorbed 90% of that heat, raising ocean temperatures by half a degree.
Okay.
Had all that heat gone into the atmosphere, air temperatures could have risen by more than 200 degrees.
Which would have been suboptimal.
Correct.
Here's another thing. If gravity didn't keep us attached to the planet, we'd all float off into space and die.
Would not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and along that, on that front, in overtime today, we have a nice montage taking us through almost 7 decades of climate alarmism. And boy, how they have changed from it's going to be so hot, it's going to be so cold, it's going to be so hot. It is fascinating coming up today.
Yeah, all right. Here is the president himself talking about the big, beautiful bill.
We are looking at one thing. We're not doing any cutting of anything meaningful. The only thing we're cutting is waste, fraud, and abuse. With Medicaid, waste, fraud, and abuse. There's tremendous waste, fraud, and abuse. There's incompetent things put in. We have illegal aliens that are multiple killers with multiple murder records getting Medicaid. I don't think anybody minds if we cut that. The Democrats, on the other hand, are going to destroy it because they're going to leave these people on. We're cutting 3 things: waste, fraud, and abuse. We're not changing Medicaid, and we're not changing Medicare, and we're not changing Social Security. And if I wanted to do those things, I would have done it during my 4 years that we were.
Okay. And here he's talking about the tax cuts and the drug costs.
I think we're going to get done, Mr. President.
The Democrats want to raise your taxes. If this doesn't work, if this doesn't get the numbers that the Republicans want, and I think it does, I think it's all Republican vote, the Democrats are going to be raising your taxes by 68%. And they will not do we're going to have an 85% cut in drug costs. 85% cut in drug costs. The Democrats, the drug prices are going to go up. I can't imagine a Democrat not voting for this. I think the Democrats, if they don't vote for it, that means they're voting for an increase in drug prices. Think of that. Versus an 80 to an 85, maybe 75, but could be an 85% cut in drug costs. Okay. Mr. President.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It doesn't look good, actually. I don't know that they have the numbers to make this happen. Even with the majority, I don't know.
And that's why he went to Capitol Hill yesterday to have a little chat.
He claimed that they do. Everything is fine.
I hope so. He's talking about the chat that he had with the GOP.
Andy Harris said that you didn't adequately convince enough people to vote for the bill. The House Freedom Caucus.
You mean after this speech?
After this speech, that's what
I think so. Well, why don't we see how the vote is? I think it was a great talk. It wasn't a speech. We talked about things. Who do you work for?
Notice.
Who?
Notice.
I don't even know what the hell that is. Get yourself a real job.
Oh, man.
Oh, that hurts. Come on.
Get yourself a real job.
Come on.
And what was he? Was it Notice?
Notice. I looked him up. I mean, they have a
Never
website.
heard of it. Really?
Congrats, though. I mean, the President of the United States just gave you free publicity there.
Yeah.
Notice.org. Let's see here.
Who do you work for? Notice.
I don't have to negotiate.
Notice.
I don't know. I mean, there it is.
There it is.
Or is it not us? I mean, either way, it's
okay.
Notice.org. So it's an org. I don't know. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Exciting.
He called out another reporter, too. I don't know if we had it about the losing patience. He called out another reporter, too, during this when one reporter asked him if about losing patience. He goes, I never said that. Who told you I said that? I never said that. Where you work for? Who told you that? I have sources. Sources inside. Go tell your sources a liar. You don't know what you're talking about. It was awesome.
I didn't see
it was
that.
awesome.
And you don't remember what?
I can't. I forget
Notice.
It was
Notice.
Losing patience.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been Notice.
I don't know.
He was also asked about Thomas Massie.
Say it.
What do you think until the fiscal hawks want to delay?
I'm a fiscal hawk.
They don't think this cuts enough.
I'm a bigger fiscal hawk. There's nobody like me as a
Thomas
fiscal
Massie said that adds more deficit than Biden did, and this bill kind of...
Because we have to fix the country.
Do you think that Thomas Massie is correct in saying that this is adding Biden levels?
No, I don't think Thomas Massie understands government. I think he's a grandstander, frankly. He'll probably vote. We don't even talk to him much. I think he should be voted out of office.
I don't.
And I just don't think he understands government. If you ask him a couple of questions, he never gives you an answer. He just says, I'm a no. He thinks he's going to get publicity. And you have that. They've got some, too. Go ahead. Mr.
President. Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing I think of. When I think of Thomas Massie, I think, man, that guy is all about the pub.
Yeah.
He really just a grandstanding fool.
Yeah. This part is unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, that's unfortunate because Thomas Massie is a good man.
Yes, he is.
He is fiscally sound, and he's been fighting this battle for a really long time. He does understand government.
I think Trump's still upset that Massie forced the vote.
Well, of course.
Back in 2020 on that massive spending bill. And Trump just wanted to, because remember, they wanted to leave town. They're ready to go. And Massie's like, no, we need to be on the record for this. And he's probably still smarting from that.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. You will get the truth about all of this on Blaze TV. It's not just content that you're watching. You're supporting a movement here, and you're backing creators who think for themselves and speak boldly and refuse to be silenced by big tech or corporate media or any politicians. So you're going to get the truth here at Blaze TV. It's really worth it, and it's certainly worth 26 cents a day, right? To stand with a movement that stands with people that stand with you. BlazeTV.com/Pat. Subscribe today. And you'll get $20 off with the promo code Pat. BlazeTV.com, promo code Pat, and save $20 and have all of this on demand. Also, yesterday, President Trump unveiled his plans for the Golden Dome to protect the North American continent.
I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
Yeah.
And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful, and now we have technology that's even far advanced from that.
Right. It transports planes. I imagine it could transport a missile back to where it came from. So
it's funny you say that because where that clip is on Twitter, Ashton Forbes, our guest coming up on the Friday show with an update on MH370, the missing Malaysian Airlines jet, he actually referenced all of that technology under that clip you just saw.
Did he?
Just like you did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's like,
good.
Yeah. Something along the lines of, I think we know what kind of technologies are going to be a part of this. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah. Can you imagine?
I know.
I mean, that would make us almost invincible. Almost invincible. There's no more nuclear threat because you can send the missile right back to where it came from. Okay.
It's going to be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
You take it.
So I don't know if that's, if they have it, would they use it right now? I don't know.
Well, I mean, we don't need to use it. Trump can just have it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
You don't want none of this.
Right. But, I mean, that'd be quite a deterrent.
And he's pretty much said as much anyway, right? I mean, you don't want
He has. He has. So we'll see. And we're going to talk to Ashton again on Friday. Our Friday show is part 2 of the MH370 situation, where he talked about how that plane didn't crash into the sea. It was transported to, we assume, Diego Garcia Island, where we have a secret base there. So were the passengers alive? We'll ask about that. try to find out if the passengers are living or did they die in the process? Would they still be somewhere? I mean, who knows?
So that'll be our Free Think Friday.
Free Think Friday this day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
So pretty excited about
Going
that.
into the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it'll kick off that weekend in style for you. Should be a lot of fun. All right, let me tell you about a new movie that starts on Friday as well. Not only do we have the MH370 show, but then a really great new movie from Angel Studios is debuting on Friday. Angel Studios, of course, they're the studio that did King of Kings, Homestead, Sound of Freedom, and now The Last Rodeo. It's really touching. It doesn't take a lot for Chris to cry, but he wept more, I think, than usual. Didn't you?
I sure did. I sure did.
Good.
It's just the whole girl-dad relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Such a interesting way that they were able to portray that. And Neil, he's a great guy. And on Friday,
Neil McDonough, by the way, who is the star of this movie.
And on Friday, we will air an interview that I did, that I tried to do with Neil, to talking about The Last Rodeo.
Oh, okay. Do you know he was in the building day before yesterday?
Yes.
I'm really bummed I missed him.
Yeah.
Really good guy and a big time Christian, and so he won't even. His thing is one of the things you find out is he doesn't kiss actresses in these movies because they're not his wife.
That hurt his career for a long
Sure
time.
did.
Because
he finally does kiss a woman on screen though in this movie, right?
Yeah,
it's his wife.
Is that why you?
It's his wife.
Is his actual wife?
Yeah.
That's why Jeffy isn't in Hollywood. He has the same rule.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
We all know that's true, right? Anyway, this is a great movie. It's about a rodeo legend who has one last ride to save his grandson. It's really a touching movie. It's a great movie. Theaters are selling out fast, so you want to hurry up and order your tickets right now. Just go to angel.com/unleashed and get yours today. Really encourage, highly recommend that you see The Last Rodeo. And again, get your tickets at angel.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray Unleashed is back.
Meanwhile, the previous president, what's-his-face, has been in the news a lot this week. We've got a clip from the New York Times that Stu posted this on X yesterday.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, the clip is from now, not 2023. Check this out.
It is absolutely that the vast majority of people closest to Biden genuinely believe the portrait that Robert Hur painted of him was deeply unfair. And I think it's in part because they saw Joe Biden in different settings and all the time. And there were times where he was really strong and dialed in and capable. They would say, if you could just hear Joe Biden on a foreign leader call, or if you could just see Joe Biden in this negotiation, or if you could just see Joe Biden in X, Y, or Z setting. But the problem was the public rarely saw that version of Joe Biden. In fact, the public rarely saw Joe Biden much at all. And so I think the challenge for Biden's closest aides was confronting the reality of the Joe Biden that outsiders saw, that Joe Biden that Robert Hur saw, the Joe Biden that many voters saw, and ultimately the Joe Biden that America saw when he stepped on that debate stage in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, if we had only just had him more out there.
Yeah, because you never saw him. You never saw him. And when you did see him, he was screwing up. But he never did that in private. Never.
Right. Shoot.
Never. It's really strange because every time he was out and about doing something, he couldn't keep his thoughts straight and he couldn't speak right. Okay? But man, when he was in private, he was sharp as a tack.
Get him alone.
Yeah.
So,
my gosh. But you never got to see that.
Well, one of the reasons we didn't get to see it, I guess, is as Scott Jennings reported last night on CNN. He said the Biden campaign spent millions of dollars producing a fake town hall, but then they couldn't even use it because Biden was too incoherent during it.
Well, because he was in public, right?
That
was public.
Shoot.
Yeah, you should have made that private. And then clandestinely.
You just make a private town hall.
Yeah, Right. Then it's fine.
Perfect.
Then he would have been great.
Oh, okay, I see what you guys are saying. So you're saying that the trick is to tell Joe that this
Nobody
isn't
will
going
see
anywhere.
this. Yeah,
it's
nobody
just,
will
it's
see
just
this.
an intimate setting. There are no cameras, Joe.
Right. And then just do a hidden camera thing.
Sucker. Got him.
You'd think they'd know that.
Unbelievable.
Man.
Wow. They're still trying to dupe us with this stuff.
Yes.
Well, they have to. I mean, my gosh. It's embarrassing, worse than embarrassing, darn near criminal.
It is criminal. There's no darn near about it. It is criminal what they did.
And they know it.
Yeah.
And they know it. And now it's in their face.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to. Well, maybe they don't have to do what they're doing, but I mean, then you end up having Jake Tappers trying to tap dance around that. We were, we knew, but we didn't know because we were shielded. Okay, we got it. Everybody
it's garbage.
knew.
Everybody's trying to protect their own
I never saw anything about anything. Really? Stop it.
So yesterday, Jake Tapper, to his credit, went on Megyn Kelly.
Oh, no.
And
that took some guts.
Yeah. And he got his feet held to the fire with her.
Yeah, this isn't even the entirety of what she did to him on her show yesterday.
Good.
But it's, 2 minutes and 40 seconds worth of
beat down,
surgical removal of his testicles? Yeah, that's good stuff.
I did ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
then he wasn't.
thought that he was not transparent at all. No.
He promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs.
Pause it for just a sec. And keep in mind, the Jackie Walorski thing is the one where's Jackie?
Yeah.
Where's Jackie? She's dead. That's where she is. She's been dead for pretty long time at this point. It wasn't like it happened 5 minutes ago.
No.
She's been dead. You should know that, and you're looking for her in the audience.
It was like a month or so, right?
And,
I mean, it was a while.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't even learn this until Megyn Kelly's interview there, where she referenced they did a remembrance video. Like a 5 minute
at
or something
this event?
right before he went on stage.
Before he went on?
Right before he went on stage.
I don't think I knew that part.
Well, he was busy being sharp as a tack in private. He didn't know that was airing. He didn't air that.
Got it.
Plus, when he came back out, then it was public. And so then he's done.
Turn the switch.
All right, let's start from the beginning again, because this is going to be fun. You're going to enjoy this evisceration of Jake Tapper.
I did ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
then he wasn't.
thought that he was not transparent at all. No.
He promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues. You know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it. It wasn't just that. I mean, you sat with him a couple of times in the course of his presidency, and these issues were not pressed.
So great.
Well, there was at least that time, and then there was the time at the beginning. And but separate and apart from that, you covered the Biden's presidency. No. Let me just finish my point. You covered the Biden presidency. Okay, right. And it was 13 days after the Jackie Walorski thing. But you covered the Biden presidency aggressively throughout the 4 years, and you didn't cover mental acuity hardly at all. I mean, time and time again, when issues came up, you seemed to be running cover for the president. You didn't seem interested. Do you want to apologize to Lara Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
I feel angry because she was right. And not only did you not allow her to make her comments, but you seemed to try to humiliate her. You had a hostility toward the position, but she was totally right. And then you lectured her on how she was in no position to diagnose cognitive decline, which you guys do at length, including on page 4 of your book. You describe at length his cognitive decline, which is all she tried to do with you. But you had such a visceral reaction to her.
Joe Biden has been saying stupid things for decades. Okay,
I get what you're saying, but this minimizes it too, because it was more than saying stupid things. But I'm telling you, like over here in my ecosphere, we were covering all of these. It wasn't just falling down; it was getting lost. It was some of the stuff you report in your book. We knew, and we were reporting on, like the multi-jump cuts in the videos of him. It was obvious he couldn't get through a 1 minute take, so they had to use those. It was clear to us that he was using teleprompter, and there was some reporting on that at the time, all of which the White House was denying. Now, with the current White House, I have some connections. With the Joe Biden White House, I had none, but you did. You did. And so while you've been
Megyn.
in Washington 30 years, Jake. You guys, you and CNN have White House connections, but there was no effort, none to get to the bottom of this. And now
That's
you guys
not
write this
accurate.
book like there was a cover up. It's like there was a cover up and there was an attempted cover up.
By you.
It could only ever work if you allow.
My gosh.
Those are the highlights from the conversation.
He was carried out of that interview on a stretcher.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he'll ever recover from that.
He's still trying to recover.
And he deserved every second of that.
You know, I wanted to have him on here. She did what we wanted to do.
Yes.
She just did it.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That's not easy to do. When you got somebody right there in front of you, I mean, obviously they're not in the same room, but she is saying it right to his face, and it's fantastic. Needed to be said.
Yes.
And he needed to be held accountable for his part in the cover-up that he writes the book about.
And he takes the beating just to sell the books.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him.
I know they were reporting that maybe a movie deal was already in the works.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. All right.
He does go on to say in that interview, he does at least admit the conservative media was right about Joe Biden's declining health. Duh. Thank you for that admission. So you might want to consider this too, Jake. If we were right about that, then maybe we're right about everything else. Is that something you might want to consider? You might want to. You might want to.
Well, he's not going to consider that as long
He's
as
not
he's
going to.
cashing that check from CNN.
And plus, he's got to recover from that bleed out that's currently going on.
No kidding. I hope he was sutured up after this.
What's this clip, Chris?
So
from
Jake Tapper did another interview where he said that Hunter Biden was almost like the chief of staff during the Biden administration.
Wow.
32.
Oh, no.
How big a factor was the Hunter stuff?
Oh, yeah, with
I think it was
Katie Couric.
considerable. I think Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that people. He was almost like the chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions.
Pause it. There's another thing the conservative media was right
Yes.
about. There's
Thank
another thing
you.
we talked about extensively. There's another thing you ignored the whole time, or denied, or helped cover up.
Yeah. For you guys, everything contained in the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation.
Yes. Exactly. Wow. By the way, can you sense a little bit different feel in this particular interview than we just experienced?
I don't know which one happened first. I'm not sure.
Well, there's no bandage around his midsection, so
So
this
it
one
had to be
obviously was
first,
before.
yeah.
But I think one common thread is that in every clip, his co-author hasn't said a word yet.
He's there, though.
Yeah, he's there. He's
Jake
in there
figures
pitching.
on- He's got to have somebody hold that bandage when they leave.
And he's actually probably the one that wrote the book.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You know?
Amen.
All right. There's more.
Well, I mean, I'm just look at the record. I mean, after his brother died, he cheated on his wife with his brother's widow and then got her addicted to crack. That's just one thing I could say. I mean, I don't have a lot of personal regard for him, and just based on having nothing to do with, I barely have ever met him. I've met him like once or twice, but I knew Bo. Bo was a great, upstanding guy.
Yeah,
I knew him too. Really,
a real loss
we
for
all
the
love
country
Bo.
too, not just for his family, for the country. But Hunter is not that, and the idea
Hunter's
of
not that.
letting him
Not
drive
Bo.
the family car, as it were, is just really, really questionable.
Huh. Yeah. Nah.
Smartest guy Joe Biden knew, though.
That's right.
Oh, right.
That's what I hear.
Right. Joe should write a book about Hunter that's titled "You're Not Bo."
Yeah, no doubt.
You're not Bo. I wish you were, but you're not Bo.
I know. That's why I thought Hunter's book should have been titled
The
I'm
Other
Not
Son.
Bo.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
But keep cashing those checks from the publisher, Jake.
Sure.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Wow.
And Katie Couric is relegated to the bedroom.
What is that studio?
I mean, it's fine.
Where are
It's
you?
fine. I get it. But
It's
I mean,
not fine.
She's Katie Couric. I mean, right?
Yeah.
She's Katie Couric. And
You would think
she has
they're-
access. And
Look at that.
It's
Look at that.
It's the back room, the back bedroom of the apartment. Katie, come on now. You've done better than that.
I think that's the guest room.
And your Hillary pantsuit is not the greatest either.
That doesn't look bad.
frankly.
I'm okay with it.
No, that does look
conservative.
bad.
It looks fine.
does look
no,
bad.
it does not. She looked
888-900-3393. We'll chew the fat with Jeffy next.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Let me take a minute and tell you about fast-growing trees. No matter where you live, they can help you pick out the best plant or tree for your area and the space that you have.
Hello.
It's the biggest online nursery in the U.S., and they've got thousands of different kinds of plants, over 2 million happy customers.
Of which I am one.
Me
by the
too.
way. And I've turned I realized yesterday, as I was talking about fast-growing trees, that I now I need to consider myself a shrub snob.
You're a shrub snob
I'm a
now?
shrub snob.
Wow.
Thanks to fast-growing trees, yes.
Well, they do have all the plants and trees your yard needs: fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering, and shrubs. And so you became a snob because of it. Okay. Oh, good. They can help you become a shrub snob as well. So go to fastgrowingtrees.com. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout. You're going to get the perfect tree or plant for your area and for your climate. It's fastgrowingtrees.com. Promo code PAT, and you're going to save big. FastGrowingTrees.com. Now's the perfect time to plant. Use the promo code, again, PAT, to save big money. The offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions may apply.
Pat Gray returns.
All right, so Jeffy is here. It is Wednesday. That must mean chewing the fat. And in fact, it does. It does mean that.
This ain't one of his scams or one of his sites, but it is sponsored by Keks and Cookie Delights. He works his tongue to the bone to keep us entertained. This Pat's bitch, he's not unleashed or unchained. Are you on site? Do ya? Did ya? Or was it? It's no surprise he gets a segment to share his wit. Luckily, he survived the Isle of Spices combat, so Jeffy can be here now to chew the fat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice little boy
It's
band.
a new one, right?
Yeah. I haven't heard that one
Haven't
before.
heard that before.
Like with the boy bands. I can't wait for this particular show to happen. The Department of Homeland Security is considering a reality television show pitch called The American. It would put immigrants through a series of challenges as they compete for U.S. citizenship. It's being pitched as a TV reality show from Bob Warsoff, who did Duck Dynasty and Millionaire Matchmaker, and he claims it's not mean-spirited. The American is a celebration of what it means to be American at a time when our morale is at an all-time low. A national conversation of what it means to be an American, a reminder of how lucky we are through the eyes of the people who want to be part of it. I'm equally proud of my Canadian citizenship and heritage. It's an honor to be a citizen of both countries. Okay. So they submitted this to Homeland Security, and the Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin confirmed that the show is being reviewed after first denying it. Kind of weird. And then the Department of Homeland Security apparently receives hundreds of television show pitches a year, from documentaries and surrounding ICE and CBP border operations to white-collar investigations. So each proposal goes through a vetting process prior to denial or approval. So it's in the vetting process now. It has not received approval or denial from Homeland Security. Warsoff said he hadn't spoken to Noam yet, but he's been working with some other people at DHS. He said he also pitched this same show during Obama's presidency and during Biden's presidency, and has never received a flat-out no for this. So it would be a comparison show where citizens compete in, stereotypically American activities like collecting gold, assembling a Model T in Detroit. I'm a fan. I think we make this happen. Panning for gold, building a car racing, right? What would you have them do? Maybe some Evel Knieveling, hunting, building fires. I'm a fan. But we have to make it. He said that it's not, even if you get voted out, it's still not going to, you're not going to lose your actual place in line.
You won't be deported
if you win. Lose. You just, you get the sped up process, the expedited process. But I mean, we have to make it worth watching, right? You lose, get out.
You go directly to CCOT. Go to El Salvador and spend some time in a maximum security prison. Yeah.
Maybe you put an American in there. Lose, get out.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. You lose your citizenship. Let's make it worthwhile.
Okay.
I like that. I mean, that would be fun.
That would
be fun.
Unless you're the one going to CCOT. Then not so much.
That's a good point. Yeah, no. I just wanted to play the game to become an American. Sorry about it.
Oh, well.
Take care.
Shouldn't have played.
Good luck. God bless. We have to move on. Next week's show's coming up. Everyone in New Orleans and the southeastern United States, heck, the entire United States by now, keep your head up and your eyes open. We still have 5 fugitives. 5 have been apprehended. The FBI and law enforcement partners remain on the street searching. They said in a statement that they've surged resources. They're offering $5,000. That's all 10 of them. Yeah. So those other 5 are still on the run. These 5 remaining. Now, FBI said 5,000. I saw one report said 7,000, but total it's 20,000. The FBI is offering $10,000 an inmate for information leading to an arrest. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives is offering $5,000 an inmate. Crime Stoppers is offering another $5,000 an inmate. So I don't know if you have to call all 3 if you see one to get the full 20.
I don't know. Wouldn't put it past the government.
I know.
They did arrest the maintenance guy.
The sheriff also said that, the whole thing has been a cluster since the beginning, right? And so, you played the spokesperson for the sheriff's department. The sheriff is under fire. They're all trying to cover their butts. 4 supervisors, 36 staff members were at the jail at the time of the escape. No deputy was physically in the pod watching the inmates when they left. 3 employees have been suspended so far because one person that was supposed to be watching them left because, I had to get some food.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, that's understandable.
Right. What are you going to do?
Do you want him to starve
the guy
to death?
that you mentioned that's been arrested, the maintenance guy, for helping them facilitate the breakout, Sterling Williams, he allegedly shut off the water to the toilet to help clear the way for the inmates. Now, he said...
That's convenient.
He said he had to do it. He was threatened to do it.
Yeah.
But they have video of him talking to a couple of the inmates. So,
Yeah, they're threatening him.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were threatening him in that video. So we'll see. That's what he said. He said that they were threatening to shank me. And he should have went to I guess he went to the guard station and the guard was off getting lunch. And I couldn't tell anybody.
Right.
So
But then it was too late.
What are you going to do? So keep your head up and your eyes open, man.
Yeah.
There's still 5, and those are not.
Is the murderer still on the loose?
Yeah.
He's among them.
Most of them are wanted for either attempted murder or murder.
No, remember they wrote on the wall, "We innocent."
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So they innocent. So I guess just let him go. Leave him alone.
I mean,
they said so. What do you want?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
If you lived in New Orleans, you wouldn't be.
No, I would not.
Wow.
I would not. And they've been given so much money, the sheriff's department.
They look like fun guys, though, right? You'd want to have them over for a party. You really would.
You would. If you're having a party and they stop by,
you got to invite them in.
You have.
Hey, come on in, boys.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Sit down. Have a drink. Let me make 3 phone calls.
But I'm just inviting other people to our party. That's all I'm doing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, his name is Crime Stoppers, ATF, and FBI. Those 3 people are coming by. What would you pay for a uniform Michael Jordan wore for 17 games with the Bulls during the 92-93 NBA season? He was shown in the jersey on the cover of October 18th, 1993 issue of Sports Illustrated. It's the only Jordan uniform of which they're aware of to be matched to any season in the first Bulls three-peat. So the match, the authenticity notes that we believe the jersey is very likely worn every road game from November 6, 92 to March 1993. 32 road games in total. How much would you give me for that, Pat?
Probably $10.
Really?
Yeah, I might go up to 10.
You're not going to get it.
Oh, dang it.
You're not going to get it.
How much is it? Like 12?
Well, including a buyer's premium at Heritage Auctions, $2.623 million.
Wow.
I know. Now, remember the last one, the most expensive Jordan sports collectible, the NBA Finals Last Dance jersey, sold for $10 million. This jersey in the box here. We should have a picture of that. Sold for $10 million. But good luck, enjoy them. Yeah, this one. It was $10 million for that bad boy.
Wow.
I mean,
that's a lot.
Whoever bought it, enjoy.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's all yours, man.
It's amazing with a living person like that. That's so recent that it would be worth that kind of money.
For $10 million, you'd probably get Michael to come by and sign it.
Maybe. I doubt it.
Take a picture with it.
Maybe, but I doubt it. Unless he's getting the money.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But he's probably not at this point.
No, not for that, but you could pay him to stop by.
Okay. How much are you going to pay him?
A couple million.
Yeah? Okay.
Stop by, take a picture with it, sign it.
Okay.
$2 million? I don't know. It is amazing, though, the price that you're paying for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Michael Jordan. But
for a
still,
living person? That's amazing. Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you get your podcast, available anywhere you get your podcast, wherever you warm your little innards of your body. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher.
Also, let me take a minute and tell you about the Father's Day box is available now. You can purchase this Father's Day box.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Cookies. Father's Day is upon us now, and Dad doesn't want another tie. I'm just telling you, okay? I know him. And he doesn't want a tie. He doesn't want socks. But he does want Kexi cookies because they are phenomenally delicious.
Yes.
And this comes with our exclusive new treat, the S'mores Cookie Cup. It's a gooey, chocolatey treat that tastes like the best parts of a campfire treat.
Let me try that.
It is two cookies baked together with a creamy marshmallow fluff in the middle. Oh, so good. It's, I don't know, it's one of these. Maybe it's that one.
Yep, it's good. I'll make sure that's that one.
Look at the size of these things. They're big enough to feed a third world nation.
I don't know about that.
Maybe a second world. Or Jeffy. or Jeffy.
Jeffy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let me give you the review that we got from Tom. He says, bought a 12-count variety pack of cookies for Mother's Day since the special was sold out early. That in itself speaks to the quality and popularity of Kexi cookies. Mom loves them, and I'm looking forward to ordering Father's Day special boxes for myself since I haven't tried them yet, but sent them as a gift, and all have loved them.
Nice.
And you're going to love them as well. They are the best cookies on the face of the planet. Kexi, Keksi, Kexi.com.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
Yeah. Welcome to Pat Gray Unleashed. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. We continue on. Something to think about. It started yesterday, so 9 days left. At Tungas on X posted this, and I thought, this is fascinating. He spelled, it says, every day the next 10 days is going, though, he means to, be the same backwards. So started yesterday through the 29th. Is the same backwards. Pretty fascinating. It's interesting. I know. I was like, okay, I like that. I don't know what it means. Is it the end of times? I don't know.
It means the end of the Mayan calendar.
Is the moon going to crash? I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know
Probably
what it means.
smash right into the planet. Yep.
I just saw it and went, that's
so 529, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
It breaks down. That's interesting. I like that.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. We got minimum wage in L.A. We've got the guy suing Whataburger.
Oh yeah, the $30 minimum wage.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
If $30 is good, why not $100 or $1,000 an hour? or $10,000 an hour.
Thank you.
So most of it goes into effect by 2028. They have to increase it by then. And they're worried. And I know many of you, like you, just think that hotels and businesses are going to start cutting back on staffing.
No, that'll never happen.
That's not going to happen. I'll tell you what, it's probably not going to happen until after the Olympics. Right, because after the Olympics coming up in 28, which is why they're trying to appease all these workers.
Yeah.
And, they're going to, I don't know where they're going to get the money for the Olympics, but they're coming. They're coming. And so everybody's got to be, in tip-top shape. So, yeah, you know what? We'll pay you $30 an hour for the airport and hotel employees. So, and then I guess they're having big problems in the city and the state for workers trying to pay them the money that they claim they're supposed to pay them. And they're getting ready to lay off a bunch of people there, too. So have fun. Have fun, because it almost is. I mean, okay, so you're making $100 an hour, but you're not working.
Right.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
But that is your minimum wage.
That's
so
your minimum
if you
wage.
had a job, you'd be making good money right now.
You'd be making great money at minimum wage, but you don't have a job.
Right.
So there's that.
So,
yeah, there's that. Maybe you could sue Whataburger. I saw this guy sued Whataburger a little over a month ago on April 25th. This guy from Texas, Demi Ardell Wilson, filed a lawsuit against Whataburger after an order dispute took place back in 2024. According to the lawsuit, he ordered a burger, specifically requested onions to be removed. Standard burger at the fast food chain contains, the beef patty, mustard, tomato, lettuce, pickles, diced onion on a bun. However, the man bit into this burger.
Oh, no.
And it had onions on it.
No.
What?
And he had claimed to have an allergic reaction. So
allergic to onions? Okay.
I don't necessarily like your tone. Whataburger has demanded strict proof over the claims.
All right.
They're not just going to pay the man.
I don't blame them.
They're not just going to pay the man.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't he seeking a monetary relief over $250,000, less than $1 million. So that's what he gets.
Oh my gosh!
Take the onions off the
because
burger.
Because he had onions in the burger.
Yeah,
Pat. Allergic to
wait
onions,
a minute.
Pat.
Thank you.
What can I get for mustard being left?
I mean, this is look at these damn fast food places. He's suing Sonic too.
He's suing Sonic and
he's suing Sonic too. You want to know why, Pat? Onions. Okay.
I mean, I don't like onions either, but I've gotten them by mistake multiple times when I've said no onions, please.
And you're fortunate that you're not allergic to them.
Yeah.
You could have had a reaction.
You should have said, "See you in court."
Yeah,
should have.
See what happens.
I want $500,000 because you put onions when I said no onions.
That's right.
On my burger.
That's
yeah,
right.
but when we told you have to walk down to the courthouse and file the paperwork,
then I'm like, it's not worth it.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here.
Yeah.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
With a few tweets for you. Escalated thought criminal tweets a reality show about becoming a U.S. citizen. What happens if you lose? Well, we told you. You go directly to CCOT in El Salvador.
Get out.
Well, that's third place. Second place is Canada, right? It's like
yes.
Kind of like a consolation.
Swamp Pirate. The FBI is offering $5,000 for each escaped prisoner in Louisiana. Interesting. How much are they offering for the capture of Anthony Fauci?
Oh, cool.
Wayfaring stranger. That's a good point. Thank you. Thank you for making it, Jeff. He's not a fugitive. Wayfaring stranger tweets, how much for a show used by Jeffy JFR?
A show used Jersey?
Jersey?
Yeah.
I'll auction off shirts.
Will you?
For some cash?
Will you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Show worn? You bet.
Are you going to dry clean it first?
No. I want to.
It would lose all its value then. You don't have the Jeffy DNA on it.
Thank you.
So, yeah. I meant to bring this up on Monday. Maybe you guys know the answer to this. Every time that Jackie and I travel, it comes up. So if anybody who works for an airline or is a pilot listening right now, I'd love for you to call in and answer this question. Why, For the love of all that is good, right, and holy, don't airlines load planes from the back to the front. Why is it from the front to the back? So you're stumbling over people all the time who are in your way. Whereas if you started in the back and worked your way up, it would be so much smoother a process.
I read a big story about this on how on their study for that. And there's different studies that they did. Obviously, they've blown millions of dollars on all these studies. But they focus on, and I won't get it right, but they focus on it's faster doing it the way that they do it.
No, it's not.
No, I think
it's not. That's impossible.
I think it's because they're prioritizing the first.
I think so too.
Well, yes, you get absolutely.
You don't have to sit in the terminal for extra half hour.
Is it better to sit cramped on the plane for half an hour? I don't know. If it's first class, I understand that. Let the first class passengers on or whatever, but then go back to front. Why wouldn't you do that?
Are you ready? I got the answer.
Okay, what's the answer?
Okay, here we go. The answer is the boarding from front to back will maintain balance, weight distribution, and prioritize first-class passenger.
There you go.
This
You can
method
still
helps
prioritize
avoid
first class.
congestion and ensures a smoother boarding process.
That is bull crap. That is baloney. It's not smoother, it's not faster, and it's not more efficient. The only thing is the class warfare situation. Well, the first class got to be on first. Oh, okay. Let them on, and then start boarding back to front. I don't get it. I don't believe them. I don't believe them that it's faster.
They say that the boarding process is not to taste your patience. Okay, it's not.
It's not.
It's just to efficiently and balance out the plane.
That's garbage. That's just
don't
BS.
Taste patience either. Don't do that. I don't like how patience.
You don't like
tastes.
it when you taste
no,
patience?
it's worse than onions and mustard.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah, and you can sue for $500,000 if they put onions on.
As the engine sits at the back of the airplane, it's important that the front is evened out with weight.
Yeah.
So that's why passengers.
I mean, it would be the same because the same things are going on the plane, wouldn't it? Right. I mean, it seems like all the things are going to be on it.
At the time that you're boarding, then they're also putting luggage on underneath.
Right, and that's just going to throw off the plane. It's going to crash if they go back to front.
Next thing, boom.
Okay. All right, well, there you go.
And according to the studies that Fisher was talking about, the boarding from back to front was found to be inefficient and time-consuming.
There you go.
They tested it.
That doesn't even make sense.
When they did it that way, it took 24 minutes and 29 seconds for the last person to be seated.
Okay.
When they did it the way that you don't like, it takes approximately 15 minutes.
There you go.
I don't
that's
believe
10
that.
minutes. That's almost 10 minutes.
Believe it. I don't believe it. That's a lie. It's a stinking lie.
Wow.
That is just a stinking communist lie. That's all that is.
Is it big plane? Is that what you're saying?
That's it. It's big plane
yes,
taking
it's
over.
Big plane. Yeah. Yep. They're just trying to keep the little guy down.
You and Jackie. Yes.
Here's the thing. You're flying coach?
Well,
I mean,
my wife is involved? Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes.
What are we even
doing? The cheapest person on planet Earth? Yes, we're flying coach. Yes.
No.
I'm lucky if I can get her to agree to the exit row. Which is an extra, what, $40 or something?
Yeah. And you get extra leg room.
Yeah, you get extra space.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, it's almost like first class, except you don't get the meal.
Well, the seats are a little bit better.
And yes, the seats are a little bit better.
It's first class of coach.
In fact, it's probably more legroom than first class.
It is more legroom, yes.
Yeah, but
you struggle with the seat.
Yeah.
But then you're in charge if the plane goes down to get all the people off the plane.
Yeah, you help out, right?
And I've accepted that responsibility.
Thank you. Because if the ship goes down and I go off, what's going to happen?
It's going to happen, man. Can you open that door? Are you willing to open that door?
I am.
Yes.
I hate that you have to give him a verbal yes.
You do.
I know.
You can't nod your head. You can't grunt.
I need to hear you say it. Shut up. I need to hear you say it. Shut up. I'll text you my answer, okay?
Wait, that means you turned your phone on before you're allowed to.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's go to Tim in Pennsylvania, who's going to explain all this to us. Hey, Tim, welcome.
Hey, Pat, how's it going?
Good. Except I don't like planes loading front to back. But other than that, it's going okay.
Hey, no, I was just getting ready to order some Kexi cookies here as I was listening to your show.
Nice. Oh, nice. You're doing the right thing there.
Hey, Pat. So I'm a airline pilot, and it's so I fly like 737s. Not all airplanes are like this, but if you look at a lot of planes when they're being loaded in the boarding process, they have a tail stand in the back. Mm-hmm. And so if you loaded an airplane from the rear to the front, there would be too much weight in the back. So Chris is correct. It's a weight and balance thing. And if you loaded from the rear end of the airplane, the nose would come up and, the thing would basically be sitting on its tail. So they have to load it from the, yes.
So it would tip the plane over or at least back? It would tip it back if they did it that way?
That's exactly
There's that much weight in the back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Why are you fat shaming people?
Yeah. What if you just load Jeffy first, put him in the front, and then he'd even it all out? So it is a weight distribution problem.
It is a weight problem. Yeah. Next time you're at the gate, I don't know what airline you fly, but next time you're at the gate, especially with 737s, take a look at the back of the airplane. A lot of times there'll be a tail stand back there. And that's because, like, when they're loading the cargo, the cargo comes on before the passengers get on, right? And they have to load that forward first, because if you load everything on the back, you'll see it. If you Google
you can see online, there's images of planes that have done that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to let you know that, man. I've never called your show, but it's great to talk to you.
Well,
guys.
good to talk to you, and thanks for calling us this time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That helps. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tim. Interesting. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's that kind of weight problem. It's hard to believe that there'd be that much weight that it would tip it back.
I know.
Because it's going to even out eventually, right? Yeah. Eventually, there's going to be stuff in the front. And you're going to have the distribution. But
and they've got the stand. Like you said, they've got the kickstand in the back just to holding it up. I mean, it'll be fine.
They do have the kickstand?
Yeah. That's what he's
saying. Well, yeah.
They
all
have
right.
a tail.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Did you get your answer, Pat?
Yeah, I got my answer. Weight distribution. Okay.
Plus, it's faster.
It is
10 minutes faster.
It is not faster.
You should have asked him that.
There is no way
that it is.
It's faster.
Actually, I was reading more. They did an episode of Mythbusters.
Okay.
So
they did?
Link.
And did they try it?
Yes, they did try it.
And what was the outcome?
It was faster.
It is faster.
No,
there you go.
So I'll send you the link.
There you go.
Send me the link because I want to see that one. Okay, so in the U.S. Senate, Secretary of State Marco Rubio answered some questions and had a fun chat with Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Oh, immigration was the topic.
Hollen, you might remember Van Hollen went down to El Salvador, and he hung out with Maryland Man, the father of three.
Is a human trafficker.
Hey, rewind this. It's been going on for about 15 seconds. Can we get
case of El Salvador? Absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated
Senator,
comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Secretary Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States because he hasn't done it under oath. Here's another point, okay?
Okay.
There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy.
Boom.
Boom.
So he goes on after
Put
that.
Put that in your pipe.
That's great.
He goes on for another minute or two after that, telling them that what the courts can't tell them to do.
I love this version of Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you went down there and had a margarita with the guy that we.
That's so great.
It's a gangbanger. And by the way, human trafficking, absolutely. The guy in prison has. There's a fella in prison who said that he paid Abrego Garcia. Remember with the pullover in Tennessee?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I paid for that. That was me. So there you go.
Well, it was pretty obvious that he was smuggling illegals into the country. Yes. Pretty obvious.
Yep.
I mean, the cop who eventually showed up knew it and said it.
I would love to hear, maybe there's a transcript. I don't know.
That was the video with the lady.
I would love to know what the FBI said in the 2 hours that the police in Tennessee were communicating with Joe Biden's FBI about the situation in Tennessee. And then they report back, let him go. Send him on his way.
Amazing.
And he was in the middle of transporting individuals who were here illegally from Texas to Maryland.
Rubio also clashed a little bit with Senator Tim Kaine, forgotten about that guy, of Virginia over the recent arrivals from South Africa.
But I'm going to ask you, so a well-justified fear of persecution?
Yeah, they thought that their farms were being burned down and they would be killed. I think that's a pretty good justification for wanting to come. They're afraid for their lives.
And should it be applied in an even-handed way? That's an easy.
No, our foreign policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So
you're
can
allowed.
you have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're coming.
I'm just asking you to say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States...
a very easy thing
The United States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States.
Based on the color of somebody's skin.
You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These are people whose farms were being burned down and they were killed because of the color of their skin.
Well,
Right.
Well, you've demonstrated enough because you think anyone should be allowed into this country for any reason because they met a certain criteria.
Who has said that?
We are going to prioritize people that come into our country on the basis of what's in the interest of this country. That's a small number of people that are coming.
But
in
you
that
said
particular
said
case.
this weekend that
but
there
in
would
other
be more.
cases, it's harder to vet. In other cases, it's more difficult. And by the way, the United States admits people every year.
That's incredible. They didn't care. They didn't give a rat's anus about the 12,000 a day that were pouring into this country illegally. They didn't care at all. But these 60, because they're white, these 60 people who came in legally that we knew about and had vetted, that's a huge problem.
Yep.
Do we have the one senator said he regretted voting for Marco?
Oh, no, I didn't have that.
He said, I regret voting for you to be Secretary of State.
You
And
just
Marco
hurt my
said,
feelings.
Oh, yeah, Marco said, well, that must mean I'm doing a good job.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, to
That's
your
great.
point, they would rather have someone that's in this country
illegally.
Illegally, but human trafficker, drug trafficker,
Gangbanger.
murderer, rapist.
Terrorist.
They would rather have that,
You bet.
than have a white farmer in this country from another land.
And it's well documented that white farmers in South Africa are being killed.
Oh.
They are being murdered
That's
by
been
the
going
dozens.
on. That genocide has been
It's
happening.
been going on
for
a long
decades.
time.
Yeah,
we talked about it when we were still in New York. That was a big deal.
Yeah. One last thing, though, on that Representative LaMonica McIver. Remember, she went and she shoved the ICE agent there at the Newark place. Well, federal charges came down on her for assault yesterday. So that's now official. And you've got to see Eric Swalwell. I want to see what you guys think of this. Interpret what Eric Swalwell meant when he was doing an interview yesterday about that ICE run-in.
In jail for an indefinite amount of time, we can't trust them. So we have to do our oversight duties. And she was in the right to go and do that. And I promise you, there's going to be more unnoticed visits by my colleagues where they show up and they better be let in.
Oh, shit.
You pointed out
what?
this.
Or what? What does that mean? They better be let in. And Tom Homan yesterday said, you can make an appointment.
Yeah, right.
The end.
Right.
Well, no, we're going to show up.
You don't just get to
unnotified.
attack federal agents.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Right.
They better be let in.
And I thought no one was above the law.
That's what I heard somewhere. I don't know where that is. That's old school. That's so like a year ago.
No, that's when he was whispering with his Chinese spy girlfriend.
Fang.
Was that guy still in office?
I know.
Did Fang Fang? We've kind of come to the conclusion she's gone, right?
Remember that plane that came
came
straight down? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person on the manifest after that was someone named Fang Fang.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
So you brought up Tom Homan. We'll get to his comments coming up. First, let me tell you about Tri-Tails. You know, Memorial Day is coming this weekend. The flags are already flying and your grill is ready to start grilling. But if you're still buying grocery store beef, that is not acceptable. Really not appropriate.
How could you even eat?
Not acceptable. Your grill is getting pissed at you.
To be honest, so is your freezer, so is your refrigerator, all of it, the whole thing.
Yes. Every appliance in your home.
Terrible.
And just outside your home, maybe in your backyard. They're all pissed off at you right now. Don't do it. Instead, order from Tri-Tails because it is delicious beef. And it's a Texas ranch, family-run, pasture-raised, grain-finished beef, Black Angus beef. And when your girl finds out that you really care about it and what you put on it, oh, man, it's going to be a great relationship that you have forever. Tri-Tails beef isn't just another label in the meat aisle. And their beef is raised with a love that you can actually taste. From the marbling to the tenderness to that rich, clean flavor, Tri-Tails beef stands up to anything out there. And so you're going to notice the difference. Your family's going to notice the difference this Memorial Day. So absolutely delicious. Let me tell you about their latest offer as well. They've got a special right now where you get $20 off their ribeye and New York strip special. And if you go to trybeef.com/PatGray, they're even going to throw in a free pound of steak tips. Why? Because they believe in meat. America and second chances. So don't insult your grill this weekend. Feed the grill right and your family right. Trybeef.com/PatGray. trybeef.com/PatGray.
Saying what you're thinking. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah. Welcome. Did you see they found some kind of mysterious, never-before-known bacteria on the Chinese space station? That's interesting.
Shocker.
Unique abilities that help it survive hundreds of miles above the ground. Scientists found the bacteria called Nealia tiangongenesis.
You nailed it.
After astronauts swabbed a cabin on the Tiangong orbital outpost in May of 2023, and we're finally hearing about it 2 years later.
Because we're sharing information.
Okay,
space
right.
Information.
Right.
Everybody's so helpful with
the
one
Chinese
another.
believe in transparency.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the thing about them, is that they're so transparent. Right. It's really wonderful to have a partnership like that, isn't it? So it's related or it's similar to a bacteria on Earth, but it's not clear where this came from.
A bat.
Or whether it evolved on the station. Do they have bats up in the station?
Look,
maybe,
I don't know.
Because it was inside. It was in the station that was being swabbed, right?
Okay.
Okay.
But it's been up there a long time, right? So it must have gone with it, or who knows?
And then mutated?
Yeah. Who knows?
It's possible, yeah.
It's just kind of interesting because
whenever bacteria mutates, you don't want none of it.
No, you don't want none of that. And it's a little sci-fi like, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is that? There's a movie where they're in space. What's it called?
What do you say? Is it a movie or a movie documentary?
It's a movie documentary.
It's a documentary.
It's a movie documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Andromeda Strain.
No, but it's
The Blob.
No, it's space related, and it's more recent. But anyway, they find this living organism, and it turns out not good for them.
Not alien.
It is not alien.
Okay.
No. No. I don't know what it's called. It wasn't a very big hit, but clearly it really made an impression on me because I can't remember the name of it. All right. So things were a little calmer at the White House yesterday. It was Bring Your Sons and Daughters to Work Day. And First Lady Melania spent some time with the kids at the White House.
That's cute.
So she was actually there.
Yeah, she was there.
Because she's never there.
That's what I hear.
According to the press.
Yeah. I hear she hates Trump and never hangs out with him at all.
Right.
But she was up there. Remember, she was up there the other day too, signing a bill.
The internet bill,
the online safety thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
They seem more affectionate this term than they did last term. They're holding hands more. Seen him kiss her. It didn't seem like it happened much the first time around. So I don't know if they're just more comfortable showing their affection or if things are better, or I don't know.
Right. Through a lot of battles now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Inside the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt took some questions from the kids.
Uh-oh.
I bet you this is cute.
I bet it is.
Would you like to go?
Would you like to go?
What is the president? If the president had a superpower, what would it be?
What would his superpower be?
If the president could have a superpower, what would it be? That is a very good question. I think if he had a superpower, it would be to just snap his fingers and solve all of our country's problems just like that, because he likes to get things done very quickly. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Like today, he had to go to Capitol Hill to convince people to vote for his one big beautiful bill. I bet if he had a superpower, he would snap his fingers and get it passed immediately.
Adorable, right?
Adorable.
You loving
it
this?
is adorable. It is.
Jeffy's going to be watching all these
Don
clips
didn't
later.
show up? No, Trump didn't show up for these kids? I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah. I don't know. Did he ever show up? He was on Capitol Hill trying to get the big, beautiful bill passed.
Yeah, he was dealing with reporters, too. That what I talked about earlier, where he snaps back at the reporter, like, wait, where'd you hear that? Who told you that? And the reporter...
You want the clip?
How long is that? I don't know. All right, let's play it.
No, I didn't tell. Who told you I said I'm losing? That's what we heard inside the room. You said it's a lie. Wait.
Who's
told you that?
What we heard from people inside the room.
Oh, really? It's totally true. I never used the term. I didn't say losing. I didn't even talk about it. In fact, it's the opposite. I think we're going to get it done. I'm not losing patience. We're ahead of schedule. Anybody that told you that is a liar. Wait a minute.
Good.
Wait.
I never mentioned the word losing patience because I'm not losing patience. We're ahead of schedule.
That's why I asked you. I want to get
Well, why don't you go back to your source and tell them they're liars if the source even exists?
If the source even exists, yeah. If
so
the source
great.
even exists. Wait. Who told you that?
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. They need to
Could
be
have been
called
hanging out with those kids.
Right.
Right.
All right. We got Meltzer coming up next, right? So we'll talk to him about his, I don't know, he's got 1 million books. We'll talk to him about all of them.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. We've got Brad Meltzer coming up in a minute, but first, let me tell you about our new sponsor, Harvest Host. They are fantastic. If you own or rent an RV and you go on vacation with it, you are going to love this. With Harvest Hosts and their membership, you get unlimited, no-fee overnight RV stays at 9,500 locations across the U.S. and Canada. So all you do is sign up for a $79 per year membership. Then you book your favorite destinations and enjoy these unique RV stays all year long. Forget about parking your RV at a boring rest area or at a Walmart parking lot. Harvest Host lets you stop overnight at amazing locations. Places like wineries, orchards, museums, farms, golf courses, drive-in movie theaters, a lot more. Add adventure to your travels, all while discovering new destinations and supporting unique businesses across the country. Harvest Hosts makes trip planning really easy. With their mapping tool, you can filter by attraction type, rig length, and a lot more to show all your host locations that are on your route. All you have to do is pick your destination and book it. Most hosts confirm within about 5 minutes. So with over 50,000 five-star reviews, you're going to love this journey too. Between now and May 27th, Harvest Hosts has an amazing Memorial Day offer. Just go to Harvest Hosts, all one word obviously, harvesthost.com, use the promo code UNLEASHED, and you'll get 30% off your Harvest Host membership. Once again, that's harvesthosts.com to get 30% off by May 27th. So you've got just a few days to do this. Make sure you use my promo code UNLEASHED so they know I sent you.
of Pat Gray Unleashed.
Joined this morning by our friend, author Brad Meltzer. Brad, you've released, 3,800 books in the last couple of years? Is it 3,800?
I don't even write them anymore. I don't write them anymore. These kids in Malaysia write them for me.
That's nice.
So the prices
that works out well.
Prices have gone up with tariffs then.
That's for sure.
So you've got 2 new books that are out, right? Are they both brand new, or We Are the Beatles?
Brand new. Both brand new.
We Are the Beatles and Make Magic, the book of inspiration you didn't know you needed. And you're right, I didn't know I needed that, but now I do.
Yeah.
But now I do. So tell us about. I guess which one do you want to talk about first?
Make Magic is the big one. That's
okay.
Listen, they're both big, but just to go in order of which when they came out, because one came out a week before the other. I was lucky enough to give the University of Michigan commencement address last year, and I went to Michigan. 70,000 people in the stadium, and I was focused on one, Pat. My son was graduating that day.
Oh, that's cool.
And
very cool.
And it was really fun, and I got to go up there and I gave this speech that was all about magic, of all things. And I know it sounds crazy, right? Magic doesn't really exist, but as a writer, that's my job, making things appear out of thin air. And so I talked to magicians and found out there are only 4 types of magic tricks. You put aside illusions and escapes, there's 4 types of tricks. 1, you make something appear. 2, you make something disappear. 3, you make 2 things switch places. And 4 is you take one thing, you turn it into something else, the hardest trick of all, which is transformation. And I went through all the tricks, which we can talk about and what they do. But when I was done with the speech, I can tell you that all these people started contacting my family. They were reaching, found my sister's unlisted number. They were like, I want the text of that speech. That moved me. And even my son, who, when they told me I was going to be the commencement speaker, my son said, why'd they pick you? There's so many better people they can get.
Love you too.
But even when I was done, even he was impressed. And in
was he though?
Almost 30 years of doing this, no one's ever asked me for the text of anything I've said, and they wanted this, so we built this book, Make Magic, as a graduation gift, but also, as you said, for anyone who needs inspiration today, because, man, we all need it right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so tell us a little bit about how do you go through how to do each of these magic tricks?
Yeah, and the thing is each of them has the first one is you make something appear, the second one is you make something disappear. So and the third is the most important. That's that kind of went viral on it. And the third trick is taking 2 things and making them switch places. And I said, here, let's talk about empathy, because that's what empathy is, right? It's switching places with someone else, putting yourself in their shoes. And when I was 13 years old, my dad lost his job, my family lost everything, and we had to move to Florida to live with my grandparents. We had no place to live. And it was 6 of us, my parents, my sister, myself, and 2 grandparents in a 1-bedroom apartment, which was obviously not where it was too tight. And all these neighbors, because it was Florida and the condominiums there, they were trying to get us evicted. They were like, you can't have 6 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. And everyone was trying to get us evicted all the time. And this one neighbor across the hall saw what was happening to my family and said to my grandmother, you know what, I'm going to move out. You take my apartment for your family, and you guys can have some space and get your lives back in shape. Nicest thing to this day, Pat, anyone's ever done for me. And when I was a kid, her name was Mercy, but I always heard it as a little kid as Mercy. And make no mistake, mercy and empathy is what she was showing me. And I think today, cruelty and venom and harshly judging those we disagree with, it's become sport in our culture. But cruelty and venom aren't signs of strength. They're signs of weakness and petty insecurity. And what takes strength is showing people kindness and showing them empathy. And when I said those words in the stadium, 70,000 people just, went bananas. And I said, what happened there? And my wife said to me later, you tapped a vein you didn't know was there. And I think right now as a culture, we're all starving for kindness. We're all starving for empathy. And so each magic trick is a thing that you can do in your life to try and, bring a little magic back to your life.
That's really nice. That's really nice. Unexpectedly nice.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, that is.
Hello, Brad. This is Jeff Fisher.
Well, I will say, not all of them are, not all of them, like the second magic trick isn't as nice. The second magic trick is what you make disappear. And everyone says, make your fear disappear. But I'll tell you the story because I know you well enough to know it. It's just right up your and my alley. when I was in high school, I used to scoop ice cream at the Aventura Mall and at the Haagen-Dazs. And this woman comes up one day, I'll never forget, and she starts snapping her fingers at me. And she says, "You got to serve me." And I said, "Ma'am, I'll be right with you." And she said, "No, you got to serve me now." And I said, "You know what, ma'am, you're being rude. Take your business elsewhere. I'm not serving you." And I'll never forget, she screamed in my face. She said, "You're going to be working at this miserable ice cream store for the rest of your miserable life." And I calmly looked at her, and I say very calmly to her, "Ma'am, if I am working here for the rest of my miserable life, you're still never getting any ice cream."
Think about it. Think about it.
And I will tell you that for years I used to joke about that and say, "Oh, she never bothered me," but it totally bothered me because my dad struggled with money, and I always thought, I'm going to have that same struggle like this woman's pointing out. And what I finally realized, the second magic trick is don't make your fear disappear, because I realized that woman, she also drove me. She was like rocket fuel to me. So don't vanquish your critics, prove them wrong. And I want my graduate to hear that. I want my kids to hear that. I want my nieces and nephews to hear that. I want everyone to know, anyone out there, don't vanquish your critics, prove them wrong.
I like that.
There you go. I like that as well. Okay,
so Make Magic is full of all those kinds of tricks.
So you've got Make Magic. We've got the new We Are the Beatles, part of the Ordinary People Change the World series that you do. Have you stopped writing thrillers and novels? Are we just writing these little things going on? I mean, what's happening with you?
No. The truth is the new one comes out in January, so I'm hopefully going to come see you guys in January. But it's been, as you can tell, they just take me a little longer because I'm doing all these things, just to try and make the world a better place. Thanks, Jeffy. I mean,
hire some more people in Malaysia or something. Let's go.
All right, more with Brad Meltzer in just a second. We'll talk to him about the We Are the Beatles book as well. But first, let me take a minute and tell you about a show that is already debuted, actually. It's called Strange Encounters. It is Rick Burgess's new show. Rick is the Rick from Rick and Bubba. Bill Bussey, or Bubba, retired from radio recently. Those guys were on the air together for 30 years. That's almost unheard of.
Sure is.
As with rock bands, on-air partnerships just don't last that long. They really don't. There's too much ego, too much animosity, too much time together. Something always gets in the way. But anyway, Bubba just retired. Rick started this new show. It's got a spiritual focus. I think you're really going to love it. It's about the spiritual warfare that we're battling right now. It's bold, it's thought-provoking, and it's rooted in truth. So check out Rick Burgess's brand new series, Strange Encounters. It's streaming right now on BlazeTV and YouTube. And again, it's not about ghosts or Bigfoot. It's not that kind of strange encounter. It's about the spiritual battle we face every day. BlazeTV.com. Use the promo code PAT.
Pat Gray Unleashed now continues.
All right. In the Ordinary People Change the World series, what was the first book in that series, Brad?
I'm Amelia Earhart and I Am Abraham Lincoln came out together.
Yeah. Okay. So how many does this make now? We Are the Beatles.
Is 36.
Is it really?
I want to hear.
Wow.
36. We're coming up on 40.
Wow.
We just had a vote on my social media. I want to ask your vote. You and Jeffrey, you get to vote here.
Okay.
And we're going to prove democracy still works. And so what happened is that for the 40th book, we wanted people to vote on who the 40th hero should be. So the choices were the Wright brothers, Maya Angelou, LeBron James, Taylor Swift, Venus Williams, and Steven Spielberg. And I'll tell you who won, but I want to know who you vote for.
I'm going Wright brothers.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't done Wright Brothers yet, but probably Wright Brothers or Maya Angelou.
Yeah. Keith,
Wright
Brothers.
You guys are. That's why I love you. That's who won.
Yeah. All right.
It's gonna be the 40th book.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried because I was like, I was like, I don't really want to do. There's
Brad,
some that are just obviously much harder to do, but the Wright Brothers rule, man.
Brad, this Beatles book is so awesome because there is. I mean, there's great information in here. It's not, I wouldn't call it a kid's book, you know? I mean, anybody can
That's
enjoy
for
this.
sure.
You can learn so much from this. I love the way you separate the dialogue from the different Beatles band members and different color borders and stuff. That's really helpful. And as you learn about their lives and their childhoods. I did not realize until I read your book that the first 3 singles the Beatles released in the United States were flops. It was the 4th attempt. I Want to Hold Your Hand, I think was, right?
You just hit the best part of the whole book. So I'm writing, and here's the thing is, why did I write this book? Is I want to show my kids, that the Beatles are amazing. But what we do with the Beatles is, think of any documentary you've seen. They cut to the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yep.
Someone says, ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles. Then there's lots of screaming. They show them at Shea Stadium, and then they're superstars.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
But the real truth is, as you said, they were terrible in the beginning. They weren't doing well. When they started playing, John Lennon is 17 years old. Paul is 15 years old, and George Harrison's 14 years old. They're kids, and they're not good. Liverpool won't even hire them anymore, and then they go to Germany to play because there's no more gigs in Liverpool. And in Germany, they play 1,100 hours. That's almost, forget about practice. That's playing live in front of an audience over 3 hours every day for almost a year. And that's where
that's when they grew up, right?
They become the Beatles.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And as you said, when they come to America, they're not superstars like in their first records. Their first records flop. It's the 4th song, I Want to Hold Your Hand, that takes off and makes them the Beatles. I'm like, I want my daughter, I want my sons to know that, again, this isn't magic. It's hard work. That's how you get to be the Beatles.
Yeah. And what do they know? Like 3 chords or something in the beginning? I mean, people do forget that they weren't the immensely
they can't
talented.
Play 'cause they're 14 and 17 years old. Like John Lennon, when he meets Paul McCartney, is like, he's the star of the band, and he's like, if I bring this kid on, then he's better than me at guitar. But he's like, I want to get better. And what it says in the book is the real secret of the Beatles is they make each other better. And what I love is John and Paul play opposite each other, literally staring in each other's eyes. One is right-handed, one's left-handed, so the guitars face the same way. And they're playing like they're in a mirror. And then John would then learn the chords upside down, go home and learn them the right way. And that's how he learned to play guitar. And then both of them are like, Paul gets his big guitar solo. This is the moment. Go on stage. Paul McCartney, one of the greatest musicians ever. And he gets on stage and he freezes. And he's like, I can't do it. We need another main guy to play.
Yeah.
Meet my friend George Harrison. He's 14 years old, but better him than me. And again, then George starts teaching the two of them how to play guitar. And my God, isn't that a beautiful lesson to teach your kids that, like, this is how it works? You put in the hard work and reap the rewards.
And I will say, during the whole book, I end up, every page has a new line that's title of one of their songs, so you end up singing the stupid song in your head.
Well, the best
I've had Beatles songs in my head all night.
More than one line, I got to pay for the song, which would have made this like the most expensive $1 billion book ever to buy. And the thing that was great, here's the other favorite part, is that, when you read I'm Amelia Earhart or I Am Abraham Lincoln or I Am Jackie Robinson, they always look the same, right? Abraham Lincoln has his big hat and they got a little beard. They're always cute. But the Beatles evolved, right? These are kids books that are illustrated. And so I was like, I said to Chris Eliopoulos, our amazing artist, I was like, listen, we're going to do, he's like, well, which version of the Beatles are we doing? I'm like, all of them, baby. And so we have like the Mop Top and we have Sgt. Pepper's. And when you see Rubber Soul, we vibrate the picture because we're like, this is when the Beatles are on drugs. We're like, we put like everything we could in this book so that when you're reading it with your kids, you can show them everything. And I love the fact, we gave it to the leading Beatles biographer. We went to Paul McCartney, we went to Ringo Starr, and we asked them to help us, of course, because, when we did Dolly Parton, Dolly Parton helped us. When we did I Am Jane Goodall helped us. When we did I Am Billie Jean King helped us. Like, she spent 2 hours on the phone with me. So we went to Ringo and to Paul, and they just don't do Beatles stuff anymore because it's not that they don't love it, but if they do, they said to us, then the rest of the family start going, well, what about us? So we're like, okay. So we go to the main Beatles biographer in the whole world, this guy, of course, in London, and we give him the book. And this, again, a book for little kids to give them, inspiration and heroes to look up to. And he takes the book. He corrects, like, obviously so much good stuff that I didn't even know myself. But he says this book made me cry, and I love that. Like that guy who's like, you know, the music critic guy is like crying with "We Are the Beatles." That makes me so happy.
Yeah, and the good times are fun to reminisce about. And, you know, it helps you sort of soothe over the time when they weren't such good times together with the Beatles. Because they kind of attacked each other after they broke up. And that was really too bad. It was such a, you know, it was the world's most successful band. And they were so huge, bigger than even Elvis at the time.
Easy.
Bigger than even Elvis at the time. But then they kind of went at each other for about 10 years. And it's really too bad. So it's nice to remember the really good times with the Beatles.
Well, you know, 100%. And you know, one of the things I'll even, you know, read this just tiny couple sentences is what it says in the book. And, you know, these books it's never just about showing you, hey, here's the person, but it's like, what's the moral lesson you want your kid to take? Mm-hmm. That's what these books are, value books, right? They're my values. And it says, life isn't meant to be lived alone. Here's our secret. Find what you love and find friends who love it just as much. Laugh together, dream together, create together, make each other better. When it gets hard, you'll be able to get by with a little help from your friends. And my God, if that doesn't describe your show, you know, I know you guys for decades now. It's crazy. But like, that's the point, right? It's like, do this stuff together. And I think at this moment in time where we feel like our kids are all isolated, they're all on this terrible social media, they're all like judging themselves, looking at themselves, thinking they're not enough. You know, our girls are anxious, boys are, you know, getting, you know, attacked. And I was like, you know what? We got to remind our kids and ourselves, come together, man. Do it with the people you love and create something amazing. And that's why I wrote the book. It's like, yeah, the Beatles are fun, but there's a beautiful, valuable lesson. Like you just said, Pat, it's like when they fall apart, we all fall apart. It's so much better when they're together.
Yeah, it is. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
Oh, it's
the last line of the book, baby. Last line of the book.
And one of the few things that Paul McCartney came up with that John Lennon praised toward the end of their relationship with the Beatles. So kind of cool. Kind of cool way to end that book. Well, Brad, where can people get these books? Probably everywhere, like Barnes and. Could you actually go into an ancient Barnes and Noble store? Do they still have bookstores?
They still have bookstores.
Brad shows up at
Barnes and Noble actually still has signed copies. We've signed copies. You can go to put it. So those are fun. But go to your local bookstore. Go to Amazon. Go anywhere. But I love the fact that people use our kids' books to build libraries of real heroes for their kids and grandkids. But Make Magic. That's my soul in book form, man. That book is just like an inspirational thing, and it's you'll see it's a little tiny gift book. It's really short, and it's just so you can put it on your desk, and when you need a little magic trick every day, you just open it up. And I love the fact that these books kind of came out together because they really just represent what I'm trying to do in the universe these days.
That's great. Plus, you do have a thriller coming out in January.
That's what he says.
Don't worry. We're murdering people in January. Which
All right.
Thing that goes along with his book is murder and blood, Jeffy. Don't worry.
Good.
Thank you.
We still have our bloodlust. I mean, this was all really nice and sweet, but
cute.
man, show us the blood.
But where is the murder?
Right.
Where's the murder?
Thank you.
Exactly. All right, Brad, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah. BradMeltzer.com. Both of these books, man. Great stuff.
Really good. Really good. And the Beatles thing, you know, I've seen a lot of Beatles stuff lately. Documentaries. You know, they released that new Beatles song a couple years ago. When was that? Maybe it's been like 5 years or more now.
More than that.
Remember,
Probably
has
decade,
it?
Yeah.
It's been 10?
I think so.
But I just saw one where they were talking about John and the things he said about Paul, especially. But John hated a lot of people, and Paul probably most of all. And I think it was. I really think it was jealousy. It's too bad because Paul was so successful, and I think that ate at John. That was like a needle in his side for the rest of his career, because he was by far the most successful Beatle. Number 2 was George Harrison, and number 3 was John Lennon. So he hated everybody because he thought he should have been. He should have been the man.
But see, that's the thing, and you don't see it when you're in it. But I mean, it was all of them. It wasn't It was all of them. It was the Beatles.
When they
Nobody
came
was more
together.
Successful.
Yeah,
Nobody was
right
more
now.
successful.
Right now.
Over me.
Exactly. Yeah. The best music is the music you make together.
Exactly.
And the essential message will never change. Love.
See?
It really is all you need.
Thank you.
All you need. Hey, breaking news up in Washington. Representative Jerry Connolly, Democrat congressman from Virginia, has passed away at the age, I think, 75.
Ooh.
And I hate to drag politics into this, but it will make the big, beautiful bill easier to pass, I would imagine, because I can't see Connolly ever voting for anything Trump supports. So, but our condolences to the Jerry Connolly family.
Does it say what he died of?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, sad. All right. So when do they vote on the big, beautiful
Well, the
bill?
goal was to get this done before Memorial Day in the House.
Right. Because they're going on vacation, right?
Well,
Is it a day ends in Y?
Yeah. You can't ask them to stay and
They've been working their fingers to the bone
for about
us.
like 3 days.
Yeah.
That's grueling for them. I don't know how they've been doing it.
Do they even unpack their suitcases when
Probably
they go back
not.
to D.C.?
No, probably not.
That's because they're working so hard.
I see.
All right, we got overtime coming up. We'll see you back here tomorrow, bright and early.
LBGQT plus or whatever it is.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.